From this moment on, you will now be known as Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh-ha-ha!
Welcome, brother Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh-ha-ha!
Enough with the Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh, but...
What's up, everybody? This is D, giving you another Sunday swim with just an update of some of the things that I did with the tank. And I bet a lot of you are wondering, man, this guy spends a lot of time on the smaller tank more than his main tank. And that is a good observation, basically because the main tank has corals that have been in there a very long time. Most of my maintenance involves changing of the media, rarely some water changes, a lot of additives. And one of the reasons that I'm looking at this tank and spending a lot of time with it is because it is considerably smaller than the main tank. And I did some really interesting maintenance, and I'm going to show you what I did the maintenance with. This, you may be wondering, what the hell kind of maintenance did he do with this? And this, I don't advise you do this at home, but sometimes when you're doing a lot of fragging, you get into that Fred Flintstone mode where you have to do what we call aggressive fragging. I'm going to show you what that is right now. Now this area right here, I had to do some aggressive fragging because if you look at this spot right there, there was the sister to this really big stalk of Kenya tree growing there, and it had gotten about half the size of that main stalk, and what it was doing is it was stinging my other corals and fighting for dominance. What soft corals will do, and a lot of other corals will do, is they will spread for dominance. And in the sense of leather corals, these are what I call spreaders. That's not an actual name for it, it's what I call them. This is a part of the Kenya tree which, when it gets limp in comparison to those really full bushes, it'll hang a piece down, and what it'll do is it'll look for a low flow area in your tank, it will attach, and it'll start a new colony. And that is what you call aggressive rapid growth in coral. That is how they fight for dominance. So I basically had to take the hammer and the chisel. I didn't want to take that whole piece out of the tank because if I zoom out, that's the opposite. Let me zoom out. That piece had spread on my base stone. This is the stone in which my other coral stones are on top. Underneath this is a bio block. There's no sand in this tank. You can see a faint piece if I move the camera a little bit and zoom in of the bio block. That is the bio block in which the stone is sitting on. The rest of the tank is coral rubble, and the reason I use that is because I didn't want to worry about the nutrients of sand in such a small system. And when I do water changes, I'm pretty much removing a vast majority of the nutrients in the tank. So basically, rather than remove that stone, I had to take my old hammer and my fine little crowbar here, which has a little small tip, and extremely carefully whack it. Pink! I had to and get that piece out, and believe me, it is exactly as scary as it sounds because you never want to try to break stone in your tank because you risk breaking the tank, breaking the glass, and a number of other things that could go wrong. But to my joy and happiness, it went successfully and it broke that piece off nice and cleanly, which leaves me with another frag, actually two frags. Now this is the second frag. You can see the stone on the rock where I broke it off. I'm going to take this to my local pet shop, and I'm going to trade that for another stone. I don't want another coral for it. I may find another coral there that maybe I'll get in exchange, but this is a really nice piece. I want another stone in which I'm going to attach my Montipora. I have extra stone back here, the result of breaking, but this is a very heavy stone, and if you look at the front here, I need something a little tall that I can elevate above my candy cane, so I take it in from time to time. Either I trade it to other hobbyists for, stone or frag or anything, or just to fill that spot so that I can raise the Montipora into the flow. If you see now, all of the zinnia is getting that flow. When my head rotates, it gets a lot of flow. You see there's a calm period and then there's a quick flow period. And I want to put the Montipora there, which will increase growth patterns. And I'll probably give this piece, if anybody lives in the Brooklyn area and they're looking for some pieces or they want to swap or anything, I have quite a few pieces there. I have a large piece of a Pavona in the back there that was grown from this nice I don't even know what to call it, but it's a nice piece. I can break off any one of those heads and start another colony. And I have quite a few Zoas and a few Kenya that are in my main tank, really nice pieces. As far as I actually have 2 toadstools back there. There's another one that my frog spawn is increasingly outgrowing, but that's a whole nother story. So I have a lot of work to do in this small system because it's small, and sometimes it involves getting really aggressive and removing these corals, and that's one thing you want to consider when you start a small system is the larger systems, you got a lot of leeway. I can let things grow for an extended period of time before having to worry about them competing. But with a small system, they will compete for space, even on a chemical and toxic level. You get a lot of aggression within the smaller systems. And that's one of the challenges in a hobby. So when you grow soft coral, hard coral, or any coral in particular, it's like gardening. You have to plan your space very carefully and plan for growth, plan what you're going to do, see how these attach to the glass. I'd have to take a razor blade and take them off the glass, and it becomes quite the chore. So I've been doing a lot of cleaning in the tank. You can see there are a lot of spots where there's algae. Of course, there are some dead spots. I don't use a lot of flow in the system. Basically, it's my return pump, which rotates. Thank you, my aquarium box. My aquarium box and the whole team up there just opened their e-shop. Their shop.myaquariumbox.com, which they have all kind of things like that. And I never wanted to add another power head, so I got this bad boy Mike from Mass, which was awesome. In this little 20 frag system, it provides me excellent circulation, just as much as I need. But I'm constantly pruning because that is a good thing. The good thing is that corals are growing. Even corals that I can't grow in my main system, probably because there are a lot less nutrients in this system. I got quite a few Montipora in the back. So when I go to my local shop, I'm going to probably remove some pieces and move some over, and move one of those stones or get a lighter stone if he has something nice that I can see putting in here into this spot, and attach my Montipora pieces. I got a really nice cap that I want to move, especially I'm going to show you this one. It looks kind of like a strawberry shortcake type, but it's a really beautiful piece. You can see the patterns in it. You really can't do it justice under the camera because the colors are really, really, really pretty. I got a pink Montipora here, if I can focus, which is another nice piece. And this is another piece of a flat encrusted piece of Montipora. That is more same coral grown in a different plug. You can see this is a glass plug, this is a stone plug, and you can see the difference in how they've grown, which is why sometimes you got to get the chisel out and get really aggressive. But once again, when building your system, best idea I can give you is drill a lot of spaces in your hole, in your rock, before putting it into the tank. As you can see, this has a lot of holes in it, but here's the problem. And if I can open my little thing here and not shake the camera up too much, this is a very small coral plug. And if you get your average coral plug, you'll see the bases can be relatively large. And of course, this base is a little too large for these holes. And I did not have these plugs when I drilled the holes. I had smaller plugs, which I keep by the bag, and I keep my old ones. Smaller plugs, which are like this. So if I put them next to each other, you can see they're slightly different, but not all of your plugs are the same size. So you're always adapting in the hobby and always changing, and sometimes you got to get aggressive and break stuff. But in about a week or month or so, that'll be completely grown over with coralline algae, or I may just stick something over that, like I'm not going to put zinnia up there, but I was going to put a Monty there. But this Kenya tree, if you put another coral there, what it will do, like it did with my Pasillipora, which you can see has some burn spots on it, it will hang down like this and go towards the coral, and it will irritate it. So I just moved this Pasillipora over a little bit last night, which is kind of moving it towards this. Oh, it's constantly a game of chess in this coral game. But even you can see that it'll actually reach towards a coral and irritate it to the point that either it'll find a happy place with each other, or they'll fight for dominance. Now, this Pavona is a trooper. You can see it sends out those sweeper tentacles, and actually I felt a little bit of a sting. I had my hand in there working with these corals for a while, and I was like, wow, I feel like something's tickling me, and it was those sweeper corals. So be careful when you're working with any kind of corals. We always say wear gloves, even though we do not practice what we preach, especially with zoas. Zoas are toxic, and they can make you sick and irritate your skin, but that's what they do inside the tank. So it was a fun day working in this tank. But on a happy note, I didn't break the glass, didn't break my hands or fingers, and I got that piece off nice and clean. And I got two pieces. One piece I moved upstairs to the main tank, which doesn't look like it's doing too good. I roughed it up quite a bit, and it was a really big stalk on the bottom half of that. This one was just in the back of it, so it's pretty cool. And everything's all right. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Post any of your comments. If you live in the New York area or Brooklyn area, man, I'd love to see you guys at our aquarium meeting if you're in the market for swapping out some coral. Or actually I have a lot of pieces I can I trade out. I try to support the fellow hobbyists. And you know, give me a buzz, drop me a note below. Maybe we can meet up or something, have a little tank time, talk tanks. You know, we're always happy to talk about tanks. You know, and you know, swap you out some pieces. Probably break that piece up into a few frags. It's a nice piece. You can't really see it from there, but nice piece of Pavona. It's a really nice piece. And get out of the shot. Clownfish always getting in the shot. And that's about it for today. So click the like button, hit subscribe. Love to hear from you guys. Until next time, homie's gonna sit down and drink some coffee and relax for a while. So until next time, this is D, keeping my sanity, keeping my aquariums, and I'm out of here. See ya.